Okay, so you've just got yourself one of these. Now the question is, what do you do with it? What do you learn? Where do you go to learn all those things? How do you learn it so it's fun, easy, and enjoyable? Well, in this video, that's exactly what we're going to talk about to get you to that campfire jam as quickly as possible. All right, let's go for it. All right, so if you've just got your guitar and you're over 40, just starting out learning guitar, congratulations. It's a fun journey ahead. But I want to ask you something right now, and that is, have you been asked to play something yet? As you get overwhelmed, the deer in the headlights look, because I used to be like that when I first started out. I was learning things, but I wasn't learning the one thing that people wanted, and that was songs. People want to hear songs. That's it. They don't want to hear what scales you're doing or how many chords you know or how fast you can do whatever it is. It's just getting in there and playing songs for them, and that's what I recommend learning. All right, so in this channel I help adult beginners over 40 get started playing guitar, and generally those songs are focused around the campfire sort of style songs. So that doesn't mean that you have to go and invest in a bunch of camping gear or anything like that. It just means that, when I say campfire, what I mean is that you either sit around the campfire, evident, or you're just relaxing at home on your own, strumming acoustic. You might be down at the beach, strumming away. But basically, we're just playing songs on our acoustic guitar. So that's what I mean by campfire. All right, and there's lots of different genres in that we can go. So if you're interested in that, you're in the right place right here on this channel. Over the last 10 or so years, I've taught over 5,200 hours of small group classes for adults, and we're basically focusing on just playing songs for fun. Nobody here wants to be a professional musician or anything. It's just purely for enjoyment. Okay, so what do we go about learning? Like I said, it's songs, all right, but they have to mean something to you. All right, if it's country you want to do, learn country songs. If you want to do metal, well, this isn't the channel for you, but you get what I'm saying. Go and learn a bunch of metal songs. All right, so songs is where it's at, because what I see a lot of beginners start out, and they're doing everything sort of backwards. They go and study all these chords, trying to get them changing really, really quickly. Something like see how many chords they can change in a minute. All right, they're learning 100 different strumming patterns and practicing their chords, practicing the strumming, and then they go down the theory road. All right, now theory is good, but right now we're just trying to learn to talk. All right, we're not trying to get all the hidden depths of the language out just yet. We're just looking to play songs and to talk on our guitars. All right, so the theory can come later. Don't go studying it now, because one, you don't have anything to compare it to. All right, so songs have got to be something that resonates with you, because as an adult over 40, you are going to be faced with some challenges. Your hands probably don't work as well as they did when you were younger. All right, the old ticker upstairs, it's learned a lot of stuff over the years. It's held on to a lot of stuff, but this is a whole nother ball game that we're playing here. Okay, so we got to have really good expectation of not so much what, but how good we're going to get and how quickly we're going to get there. All right, there's going to be challenges. So if you're working on songs that mean something to you, those challenges are going to be a lot smoother to get through. Unless to get through, and what I mean, what do I mean there? To get through and to navigate these learning periods that we're going to go through. All right, so first thing, you've got your song sorted, you know what type of songs, but it really comes down to the guitar now. All right, so I would recommend getting your guitar set up so the action is nice and low to the fretboard as possible. All right, and this is just going to help your hand develop easier. You won't have to press down so far, and it's going to make everything you do that more enjoyable. With a high action, where the strings are really high off the guitar body, or you might see a guitar neck with a big scoop in it, that's just going to make everything so much more difficult, and it's going to give you a lot of fatigue, especially in the hand, because you're having to press down a long way where the muscles in your hand aren't there yet. All right, so having a low action will help that. It'll help promote good technique as well, right? Because when we're working on chords, all right, so let's just say we're changing from the G to C, all right? We're not doing an isolated exercise on that, because it's in a song that we want to play. And there's many great songs with G to C in it. Brown Eyed Girl, for example. Paul Kelly's To Adore has those sorts of chords in there as well, even though that one's G to D from memory, not G to C. But you get my point, all right? So go practice songs, learn songs, because all the stuff that you need, those chord changes, those strumming patterns are in songs. Don't go spending a year, which I've heard some people do, just working on chords, trying to get them to sound good before playing songs. Hey, there's easier ways to do it. All right, so you got your guitar sorted, so it helps promote your technique as well. The other thing, next thing I recommend, is this a little pick here. I don't know whether you can see it too well. It's just a Jim Dunlop .60. It's nice and flexible. Right, and this will help this strumming hand and motion develop, because quite often if you're using a thick pick, it's going to catch on that top string as we come back up with the strum, and you start to develop like a sewing motion, and we don't want that. That's a really bad habit. We want to eliminate, if not avoid, altogether from the start. All right, so these soft picks will just curl across the strings as you strum down or up. All right. The next thing I recommend is a trusty little capo. All right. They come in all different shapes and colors. Invest about $40 to $50 on a capo. It's going to last you a long time, and it's going to be better for your guitar as well, because some capos can push the strings out of tune because they're not that well made, right? So if you get into the $40, $50 range, you're going to find a decent capo to play with. And the other thing that you need, probably more paramount than anything else, is a guitar tuner. This one here is called a Snark, S-N-A-R-K, weird name, but it does the job. It just clips onto your headstock and just picks up the vibration of your guitar as it tunes up. Now, of course, you can get free apps out there on your phone and everything like that. However, those work off the microphone in your phone and will pick up everything that's going on around you. And if you're in a noisy situation, there's other people talking, it can be a little bit tedious to get it in tune. Whereas these little tuners, these Snarks, just picks up the guitar. All right, so let's get back to songs. What do I mean by learning songs? Yes, they have to be ones that resonate with you, but I wouldn't go picking your big Stairway to Heavens or Hotel Californias just yet. All right, I would work on getting quick wins. So the way I teach adult beginners over 40 is the easy songs to play. All right, and generally they are 4 to 3 chord songs, maybe even less. Right, songs like Paperback Writer uses 2 chords, Eleanor Rigby, another 2 chord song, but there's many 3 chord songs out there that you can learn as well, like Old Time Rock and Roll. There's plenty of those songs. Even The Joker by Steve Miller's only got 3 chords. All right, so there's plenty of them to learn, especially if you like country. There's hundreds, if not thousands, of 3 chord songs in country, as well as blues. But 4 chord songs is generally a nice sweet spot. You're going to have songs like Stand By Me or Wagon Wheel, for example. That's pretty much a cycle song. Even Mad World by Tears for Fears is a cycle song. Close to. It's not 100% cycle song. But those sorts of songs, I don't know what I was saying there. But like those sorts of songs, those 4-chord songs are great just to get the basics and the foundations that you need going. All right, and there's songs that most people know. All right, so if you're sitting around at a party and someone says, "Oh, you're learning guitar, here, play me something," you're going to have something that you can play. And remember at the start where I said I used to get that deer in the headlights thing? I was learning everything but playing songs. All right, why, I don't know, but like I would have been more confident when people said to me, "Hey, play me something," if I knew a handful of songs. All right, and you might only need 3 or 4 to get started, and then it's just going to go from there. But there's so many of those 4-chord songs or less that you can get going with basically today and start building up a small little set list to help you over that impending question that will come. Hey, I hear you playing guitar. Play me something. All right. So you need those sorts of songs. So that's what I recommend to get you into the Campfire Jam. All right, especially as an adult beginner over 40 looking to start playing guitar. Don't go off learning the theory. Don't go off learning isolated exercises like chord changes, scale patterns, or anything like that. Let me just back up. Scale patterns. Do not go and learn a bunch of them unless it's in a song. All right, a great song that's got that in would be something like Wild World by Cat Stevens, where it's got that, ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. All right, that there is a scale run. And what a perfect time to learn that is if that's the type of song that you want to learn, because you connect with it. Another one, Wish You Were Here, has got a great little scale pattern in it that gets you up and running, but you're not learning it in isolation. You're not trying to work out, oh, how does it relate to a chord? What's the intervals in it and how they relate to music theory and everything like that. No, you're just learning how to talk right now. All right, you're not learning the in-depth nuances of it. So those sorts of songs are great to incorporate scales and, of course, picking, which is another thing coming up that you will look at. And when I say picking, it's picking with the pick, not fingerstyle. That's a whole different category. All right. So there's my tips to get you the Campfire Jam. So hopefully you've got a lot out of that. And if you're looking for a way to get some easy to play songs under your fingers so you can sit around the place and be confident playing them, check out my Ultimate 4-Chord songbook. It's a video course. There's 10 easy songs in there to play, all designed for people like yourself who are just getting started to play and have fun along the way. I'll show you how to play those songs. There's short videos. I'll walk you through my practice system. So one, you can play it and retain it, and so it's not so overwhelming visually as well as mentally as well. And you'll find that you'll have a lot of fun with that. Okay, so that's there for you to enjoy. All right, because playing guitar is so much fun. All right, but there is so much information out there that, hey, it can be mind-boggling. You go down the YouTube rabbit hole and get lost there for days and find that you haven't even played anything, which is common, all right, because there's a lot of good stuff out there, but it's knowing what you need to learn, all right? Books are good, though you'll probably find most people moving towards the video format now, hence why I got this 4-chord songbook in a video course. All right, and that's pretty much it to get you going. I hope to see you there. It's a lot of fun, and if you'd like some help with so you know what to avoid mistake-wise, or if you've been playing a little bit, stop making mistakes as a beginner, check out this video here. It's going to help you avoid all those and really get on top of your guitar journey so you're out there playing songs for fun. All right, I'm Alan Hockett. I'll see you in the next one.